Hey, what's going on, beautiful people? This is me, the Infinity Midwife, coming to you once again. I hope y'all are taking care of your minds, your hearts, and your whole being. Listen up. I have a question for you. Have you ever been in love? Have you ever been in love? Have you ever been in love? Come on now. Don't be shy. Answer the question. I'm asking this question because I was playing a game with myself earlier today, and I started doing that, and I liked it, and I'll keep on doing it. So, the question that I received is, have you ever been in love? And I sat with it, and I'm like, yeah, of course I've been. This person was my first love in high school, and whatever have you. And then it dawned on me, I have never been in love before. You see, let me tell y'all something. Let me share something with y'all. I have been, or I thought I was in love, right? And most of the time, we are told that love is when you can give love to someone, you can shower someone with love, you can demonstrate actions of love. Can you demonstrate those same actions of love to yourself first? And I feel like I'm going to take my personal experience. All my life, I thought that love was demonstrated or was accepted or it was love the moment you were giving yourself up to someone else. That is the faulty or the illusionary way of looking at love, right? Whole programs, whole industries of entertainment are throwing out that message that you need to have someone that you're gonna show your love to in order to say that you are in love. But when do we actually get acquainted with love? It doesn't start when we're like 12, 15, 13, when we're in high school. No, it starts when we're really, really young. And we have our mommy and we have our daddy. If we have our parents with us, right? It starts with our parental figures. That's when we initially first fall in love. When you are crawling on your mama's belly to go find that titty so that you can get fed or that you just want to bond when you were born, that was your first act of love, right? And with time, we think that, you know, the more we grow around our parents, around our family, around our siblings, we are told that we need to act a certain way to receive love. When in all actuality, we should always receive love. As much as we are giving love, we should receive it. But we should receive it from who? Who gives that love back to ourselves? Is it our parents? Yes. Until when? Until we're well off on our way to for someone else to come and fulfill that position? No. You see, we've been taught for the longest time that we needed to wait on someone to show us love, to show us attention, to show us care, to show us patience. No, honey. One of the ways that we were raised were through a form of attachment, were through a form of bondage, through the whole era of bondage, the whole era of slavery that we are slowly getting out of, we were put in bondage in the name of love. We were bonded to our mother, we were bonded to our father, but more so, we were bonded to the idea, we were bonded to the illusion that in order to receive love, we needed to give love. Mm. But the truth of the matter is, you do not need to wait on someone to receive love. You can give yourself back that love because you're constantly receiving it. Ooh. I don't want to sound like Ralph Smart, but I gotta admit, I did watch a lot of his videos back in the days when I was, coming of age, coming of age into this maturity, right? But needless to say, when you recognize that you have a heart that is beating, you are breathing, you know, slowly but surely as you are growing up, if you grow up in any environment, there comes a time, and I feel like the teenage years is probably the best time to um, maintain or develop that relationship with ourselves, right? Because we are coming into a time where we want to separate from our parents, right, and what they used to provide for us, whether it's emotional fulfillment, mental fulfillment, psychological fulfillment, all of our needs met, physical fulfillment. So when we try to break free from our parents, we're going through our teenage years, we want to separate from them and we want to recreate our own identity, right? We want to think differently. We want to act differently. We want to dress differently. We want to explore differently. But how are we loving differently? We're not. We're trying to look for someone in the crowd to fulfill the position of our parents when we should be receiving some form of instructions of our parents that it is important to love on yourself. It is important as you are going through that let's say that transformative phase of your life, or that initiation into your adult years, you should start getting or developing some tools to start loving on yourself. Meaning what? Meaning you're going to want to dress differently, but have you been intimate with the different parts of your bodies? Have you recognized how many beauty marks you have on your body? Have you seen or have you recognized that you have a part of your body that's bigger or smaller than the other? Have you gotten acquainted with your physical resource? Can you say the same with your mental resource? Have you fallen in love with your mental state? Have you fallen in love with the way you respond to certain things? Or did you need to heal certain things? And I know it's going to sound very, 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 I would say, preoccupied that at that age start thinking about loving on yourself and loving all parts of ourselves. But I feel like it's the best time because there's no one there to give you instructions on how you're going to love all parts of yourself. Yes, you have a group of family that you want to a group of friends that you want to probably blend in, and maybe some family or cousins or whatever have you that you're going to want to blend in. But I feel that we should get instructions as when we are getting into this initiative phase, that we should start looking at all parts of ourselves, all of our resources, our internal resources, and start really having a form of diagnosis as to how are we loving on ourselves? How are we assessing all of our internal resources? And how are we accepting them, nourishing them, caring for all of them? Starting very early on as being a teenager, right? So when we have not had those tools, right, and then we break off into our teenage phase and then we come into our adulthood, we have not had any initiation as to how we can um, have this confidence of self-love, right? And if we look at some different parts of the world, there are some tribes that's going to have a form of initiation that's going to transform that child into an adult through that phase of initiation, usually during the pubescent ages or the teenage years, where the child is slowly gaining confidence and realizing that he or she is strong. He or she has some form of mental resilience. He or she has some form of physical resilience or physical strength. He or she finds that through that form of initiation has some form of emotional strength, emotional intelligence, that he or she will find that they have some form of um, psychic, uh, psychic gifts or talents, right? Or that he or she will find that they are um, multidimensionally existing in another part of themselves, or they're connecting with um, some form of energy that is out of this world. Are we allowing our children to explore all of their internal resources? If yes, then yes, they are well equipped to accept, to love, nourish, and tolerate all of them and all that they are. But most of us have not grown up like that. You know, we were pushed into the adult world and we were trying to look for maybe our mother or our father into the next partner we wanted to be with. So the notions of love was never really for us to be in a position to receive love. It was always for us to be in a position to try to fill someone else's cup of love. So I'll ask you again, have you ever been in love? Have you ever been in love with you? Have you ever loved each part of you? Have you ever spent some time with you? Have you ever appreciated all forms of you? We gotta do it. It's now or never. On that note, you guys, I hope you're taking care of your minds, your hearts, and your whole being. Take this time to really dive deeper into assessing all of your internal resources, right? One of the resources that we don't really like to assess is what is hidden, the parts of us that is hidden, our resourceful shadow, right? And I feel like, you know, in that part of ourselves that we like to keep secrets or hidden, we get to find a lot of jewels if we are honest enough with ourselves. So that's the message that I have for you guys, I wish you that, you find courage and strength to go about your week. Today's Thursday. For me, Thursday is the beginning of the week because I was born on a Thursday. Thursday is ruled by Jupiter, the day of expansion. So let's have a bigger or clearer vision of what is expansion. But, at the time I'm doing this video, we are going into the Venus Day. Oh, talking about self love, self care. How are you going to love yourself? All parts of yourself today. Right on point. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Today is Friday, Venus Day. I don't know what position of the moon is in Venus today, but I'm going to tell you this. What aspect of yourself are you going to love? Are you going to bring more into awareness, into acceptance, into caring, into nourishing? Is it your inner child? Is it your shadow self? Is it your feminine side? Is it your masculine side? Is it your higher self? Is it your multidimensional self? Is it part of yourself that you only see in a dream? Okay. Is it with your environment? Think about it and be it. On that piece, on that note,